And for our first story in the news today, the Judicial Service Staff Association of Ghana, JUSSAG, has declared a nationwide strike. Now, the group is demanding an increase in salaries of members. JUSSAG President Samuel Afote-Otu says members of the group will stay away from work until concerns are addressed. Legal Affairs correspondent Joseph Akable reports.
JUSSAG has in the last 2 weeks served notice of its plans to embark on the strike over failure of government to adjust salaries. The National Labour Commission intervened, but JUSSAG is unimpressed.
The National Executive Council of JUSSAG, upon consultation with Senior Staff Association, Judicial Service Association of Ghana, the Finance Association, Staff Association, drivers, and all stakeholders, by this declaration of strike, all staff of the service are immediately directed until the President of Ghana complies with Article 149 of the Constitution by approving and paying our salaries with all the arrears from January to date. All staff are also to know the following. The security men and women are to stay at post, but make sure that all entrances to the court and other offices are locked to prevent entry into the court or any premises of the service. All drivers are directed to hand over their official vehicles in their custody to the transport department. No driver shall drive any office vehicle or any officer or any jet during the period of the strike. No court registrar, I repeat, no court registrar should open or be compelled to open any registry or court for use during the period of the strike. Regional Executive Board and committee members of JUSSAG are to be on the lookout to ensure compliance, same as SAGU executives. If any staff of the service receive any treatment from any management member to report to work or perform any official duty during the strike, shall decline saying and report the matter to JUSSAG. Let no one in government or management unlawfully coerce any staff or intimidate staff during the strike. If any member is inflicted with any injustice in this cause, we shall deem it as all members have been inflicted. Consequently, we shall respond in equal proportion.
This move means all courts will be closed, bringing justice administration to its knees. Only time will tell how soon government will intervene.
Now, the Municipal Chief Executive for Ayawaso East, Salma Sani Mohammed, says more than 12 kilometers of inner roads in the municipality have been given out on contract. According to her, the approval was made this week and contractors are expected to commence work soon. Her response follows an ultimatum issued by disgruntled residents of Nima earlier this month over a deplorable road network and other developmental challenges in the area.
Nima is not that big. We are doing about 11 point something, almost 12 kilometers. The inner roads and the Nima highway. Actually, they gave us 30 days, but I called all of them verbally, and I'm going to organize a meeting with all of them, because as I mentioned, the time they handed over the petition, that the Ministry of Roads and Highway, they've given approval, and then it reached at that time the procurement level. Yesterday, it was awarded to a contractor. The contractor promised he will come very soon after the rainy season. Because as we are all aware, they cannot construct a road during rainy season. So it will be fixed very soon, God willing. What I want to do actually, before I step down in 2024, we have challenges. We face a lot of challenges. This work we've done so far, it has taken a lot from us. Engaging our people, pleading with them so they can allow us to do this project. What we want to do actually, after all this hard working, we had approval for Agenda 111, that is District Hospital. We've gotten the approval. And then we have a space. So I'm pleading with my people they should support and help to demolish the place so that we can hand over to Agenda 111. And then, inshallah, concerning the road, we are going to see the road very soon fixed in Ayawaso East.
Now, the sanitation team of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly stormed the Kwame Nkrumah Circle to drive away homeless street dwellers. These individuals have been using some parts under the overhead bridge as their place of abode. Team lead Florence Kuchi says this particular group of people is responsible for filth in the area. Prince Owusu-Ansah reports.
Kwame Nkrumah Interchange, also known as Accra Dubai, is a 3-tier interchange that was constructed to ease traffic in the heart of the city. However, homeless individuals have now turned it into a shelter. Out there, homeless persons use rags, tattered mattresses and pavement blocks on the walkway to create makeshift beds along the road. To them, they see the place as home. But the Accra Metropolitan Assembly sanitation team is driving these homeless dwellers off the street. Victor Kote is deputy head of waste management at the AMA.
You know, this is not a bedroom. They are not supposed to be here because public property, that public money have been spent to construct, they are destroying them. They are moving the pavement blocks, and you cannot allow, as city authorities, we cannot allow this to continue. So they have to be out of the place. They are not supposed to be here. They are messing up the place. They are destroying public infrastructure, and we cannot allow that.
However, some homeless individuals say they have no place to go. Meanwhile, the head of the AMA sanitation team, Florence Kuchi, indicates the assembly will collaborate with the police to force them out in the coming days.
After this exercise today, you see that we are not here with them. We don't have any police officer with us. So we want to ensure that we take everyone and sleep on it. Then from here, we will tell them nobody should sleep here again. We will give them a warning. From now till tomorrow, we shall be coming back. When we come back and we will meet them, we will come back with the police and we will ensure that the law has taken its own course.
She adds that the AMA will not allow Accra Dubai to be a waste generating center. A report by Prince Owusu-Ansah, read to you.
Sex for jobs, sexual abuse in the fishing industry and corporate organizations, poor remuneration are among a litany of complaints listed as part of human rights abuses in businesses in Ghana. The Attorney General's Office and the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, SRAJ, are spearheading and working with other institutions on the development of a national action plan to stem the tide. The concerns about business-related abuse came up during a stakeholder consultation workshop that will be incorporated in that particular NAP at Takrade in the Western region. Maxwell Agbagba is there for us and reports.
The National Action Plan on Business and Rights has arisen in response to the concerns of the United Nations about the poor human rights provisions and enforcement in businesses and the need for businesses to respect human rights in all their dealings. Some countries have already produced and activated their action plans, while several others are now in the process of doing so. Ghana has already initiated the process to produce a national action plan for promoting human rights in businesses. And the consultation workshop in the Western region has brought together various stakeholders to gather views to be incorporated. In an interview with JoyNews, the chairperson of the Business and Human Rights National Action Plan Steering Committee, Dr. Sylvia Dusu, said concerns about sexual abuse in the fishing industry and others came up strongly during the SAP group discussions.
In the group that I headed, the people are saying that there's a lot of sexual harassment in the fishing industry, and that young girls especially are being used in the fishing industry as prostitutes because of the poverty, the endemic poverty in this area. And then I can see that there's no avenue for these girls to have redress. The very people that they could have complained to are the people who are perpetrating these human rights violations. The fishermen also complain that the Navy are harassing them on the sea, and that they take the fish, the little fish they are able to catch from them. And among that also, I think the media has also complained of sexual harassment. And so there's a lot of recommendations have come out on what we should do about it. And I think they are very important recommendations. One of them is that the chieftaincy institution should be empowered to be able to help against these human rights abuses.
Chief State Attorney at the Office of the Attorney General in the Western Region, Patience Klinogo, says there exists an unacceptable gap in the integration of human rights into the principles and practice of business management in Ghana. The National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights will help deal with the problem.
You remember recently, during the World Press Freedom Day celebration, Professor Abu-Baidoo, in delivering the State of the Ghanaian Media Report as 2023, stated that salaries of media practitioners are shockingly low, and that some journalists earn as low as 500 to 1,000 cedis a month. Think about the case of the so-called casual worker who, after working for months or 2 to 3 years or more, is sent home without any benefits being paid to him. Think also of the stories of some foreign companies in Ghana, where Ghanaian workers are threatened with grants just because they demand respect of certain rights. There was even the story of a director of a foreign company in Ghana who used to allegedly urinate into the water they were supposed to drink. And remember the issue of sexual harassment at workplaces. Several women have complained about being asked to sleep with their employers to get their jobs or promotion. Of course, many claim they declined such offers and lost their jobs. And what about the story of sex for grades in our universities?
Member of the steering committee and lead anchor for the drafting of the action plan, Victor Broby, says, among others, the National Action Plan on Business and Human Rights will introduce a public assessment and ranking of businesses based on their human rights record.
Potential human rights. That's basically what human rights due diligence process does. We are going to create a business and human rights rating system. In other words, SHRAJ, in conjunction with other stakeholders, are going to rank companies on their compliance levels with business and human rights norms. So to the extent to which you undertake human rights due diligence policies, the extent to which you have human rights policies in place, the extent to which you are good human rights citizens. And of course, these rankings will be published and would serve as a guide to the general public that wants to interact and be consumers of these companies.
Western Regional Minister Kwabena Otridako-Mensah says the National Action Plan, when activated, will enhance the protection of rights.
Businesses thrive to grow the economy of countries, but we cannot do it at the expense of human rights. Okay, so this workshops is to put together all the policies and the law and the framework that government want to present to the people of Ghana and to businesses and say, look, this is the way you should apply yourself. Remember how you are doing business.
Say, and rapid. You're still watching the AM News with me, Bernice, Abu-Baidoo, Lansah. 1 in every 300 females in Africa is in a forced marriage. That's according to the Global Slavery Index 2023 report by Walk Free. It's an Australia-based international human rights group working to accelerate the end of all forms of modern slavery. Speaking at the launch of a report in Ghana, President of Challenging Heights, James Kofi Annan, called on African governments to immediately move from intention to effective action in addressing modern slavery.
Over 468 billion of imports are goods such as electronics, garments, palm oil, solar panels, and textiles, leading the pack of products at risk of modern slavery, which are imported into the G20 member countries alone. African job seekers misled by traffickers with false promises are subjected to forced labor abroad, such as in the Gulf states. Children are also exploited in their pursuit of education. For example, under the Confiage Trust system in Togo, children from rural areas are sent to cities to complete their education and live with relatives who may force them into domestic servitude. Nigerian girls seeking employment as domestic helpers to help pay for schooling are also subjected to domestic servitude. In Senegal, the Taliban children in Quranic schools are forced to beg. In Africa, forced marriage particularly impacts women and girls. 1 in every 300 females in the region was in a forced marriage. In the aftermath of COVID-19 pandemic, reports of child marriages increased in Sudan, Egypt, and parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. African countries must take urgent steps to pass supply chain due diligence laws to not only protect the rights of workers, but also to protect its international business relations. Ghana must demonstrate commitment and take decisive action to address the plight of the over 20,000 child trafficking victims on Lake Volta.
And before I leave, researchers at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology are urging the Ghana Health Service to expand the use of WhatsApp in antenatal care services. This comes at the back of a research involving the records of over 34,000 patients in Kumasi. The report found a substantial improvement in antenatal care and delivery services with the use of WhatsApp. Lava FM's Kwesi Debra speaks with lead researcher Kwame Sarkodie-Safo for Tech Thursday.
During the COVID-19 era, many hospitals in Ghana suffered a drop in antenatal care and delivery services. WhatsApp was therefore employed to urge mothers to attend antenatal care and delivery services. The researchers found an increase in antenatal care from 37% in 2020 to 53% in 2021, and delivery services from 26% in 2020 to 41% in 2021. Kwame Sarkodie is lead researcher.
My area of mobile health was chosen due to the fear in COVID, how patients were afraid to come into contact with providers, and providers were afraid to come into contact with patients. So who should connect who to who? I set out to find, firstly, the uptake of ANC, that's antenatal care service, the postnatal care service, and delivery service, to know how it's being worked on. Then the second one was on the enablers with the use of mobile health, factors that enabled providers to use that. And the third one was the challenges associated with the usage of mobile health for maternal health referrals. Yeah, these were the three areas I looked at. From the first objective, I saw that antenatal care service was on the rise due to the use of the mobile health for referrals. Postnatal care declined during that period because the mothers thought that if I was exposed and I'm safe, now my child is in, I will not expose my child, so that side declined. But deliveries was up. So with antenatal and deliveries, we saw that it was on a rise because they had no option than to attend the facilities. But where their child was included, that one came down. Firstly, I recommend that Ministry of Health should get something like WhatsApp Health, they have WhatsApp Business. They should get WhatsApp Health so that the security and privacy component of it could be secured. Then to the municipal should also make sure that at least one smartphone and data bundle should be provided for the key informant person at each facility so that they will facilitate that referral. Then finally, to the healthcare workers, they should also do the two-step security on WhatsApp so that they will secure the platform in order not to be hacked.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
And that's how we end this edition of the AM News. Do stay with me. I will be back and we will be looking at the headlines in the papers. Do stay.